Hey everyone, Bridget here. The annual Tucson toy show happened this past weekend, and I got a few stuff. So let's just get into it. So like I said, the annual Tucson toy show was this weekend. Unlike past years, I think the last time I did it was probably like 2019. I was helping a buddy, John, vend. I had a box of comics there, and I was selling them. But I still managed to do a bit of walking around. I didn't pick up any comics this year. I wasn't really looking. Something really had to pop out of me to want it comic wise, and nothing really did. But I did manage to find a few things that I decided to pick up while I was walking around. I found one booth. He was still getting set up, and he had just put out a box, and he was kind of just sorting through it. And I saw a bunch of older Pokemon cards, and I basically asked him how much he wanted for them, and they were $5 for $1 each, which is a really good deal depending on what you run into. So I actually got a decent stack of cards here. I'll probably cut in a video going through them right about now. All right, the first bundle of cards I got, these were $5 for $1. Some of the best ones here in the front. We got the Shaman level X, his Sky form. Got the Eevee Burger King special. This has like a dent in it. I think I can actually remove the dent. Same for this Leafeon. We got a Lieutenant Surge Pikachu, a first edition Meowth, which is kind of cool. Arcanine Shadowless. This thing's beat to heck, but it's probably still like a $2 or $3 card, even beat to heck. A Lass Trainer Rare from base set. Got 2 Electrodes from base set 2 rares. First edition Spearow. A Dark Macargo, surprisingly a decent value card there. We got 2 base set 2 Beedrills. Base set 2 Mr. Mime. Again, a card that has kind of a surprising amount of value, honestly. A Jungle Pikachu. I believe, Neogenesis Pikachu. A Dark Dugtrio Rare. Sandslash, I only picked this up because Sandslash and Sandshrew are one of my favorite Pokemon, and I usually grab them whenever I see them. A Reverse Hollow Numel. A Mewtwo promo. This is promo number 14. I think this is part of a movie or something. I can't remember, but pretty cool. Imposter Professor Oak Rare. A Charmander from Rocket. Rocket after base set is my favorite set, so why not grab that? Neogenesis Japanese Rare Donphan. Also a card that surprisingly has a little bit of value. Got a Jungle Pinsir Rare. A Venomoth Rare. And then a first edition Eevee, which was actually the first card I saw. And I was like, oh, I'll look through these. So not too bad, honestly. At $5 for $1, it's a pretty good stack of cards. All of these are worth more than that. The Shaman itself is worth a pretty decent amount. So pretty cool to get that. It was funny. He was like, I don't even really want to look through and price these. So they're $5 for $1. If you get something cool. But yeah, that's what I got from that bundle. But yeah, stack of cards. Pretty decent deal. I actually ended up circling back to his booth later on. I wasn't really looking for Pokemon cards at this show initially. I was more interested in like Alien stuff, and I wasn't really finding anything priced in a range that I wanted. But then I started seeing card spots. Just like anything else, there were a lot of people selling cards, but if you don't know how to condition something, it's really hard to sell it. I saw one guy, he had a bag of cards. He's like, well, my collector app says this is $2,400 worth of cards. I was like, can I look at it? And his pricing was definitely for near mint cards. As they sat, they were probably maybe $200. But he wanted his big money, big number. Didn't want to hear that, so I moved on from there. But I did find another booth, and he had a smaller bag that was, he had it priced at $300, which I was like, can I look in it? And are you willing to part out pieces of it at all? And he's like, yeah, you can look through it. So for $4 for $1, I got another stack of cards. So we'll do another cut here and show that little stack of cards. All right, and then we got this bundle right here. This bundle was $4 for $1. It was in a bigger group of cards. He wanted $300 for the whole thing. And I was like, I don't really want all of them, so he let me look through them. This is what I got. We got the Shadowless Diglett, Shadowless Nidoran, Shadowless Poliwag. These aren't near mint. They're probably moderate to light played, depending on the card. There's a couple heavy played in here and here that I was just fine with, but yeah. Ponyta, Shadowless, 2 Sandshrew Shadowless because I love Sandshrew. Tangela Shadowless, Voltorb Shadowless, a Pokemon Breeder rare, but it is also a Shadowless. You can identify it by the numbers down here. A Haunter from Fossil rare, a Lieutenant Surge rare from one of the gym sets, a Mary rare first edition from Neo Genesis. There were a bunch of, like, a bag of trainers. I don't think he bothered looking through them, but there was a bunch of first editions in the bag of trainers. So I pulled out some of the ones that like stuck out to me. So we got Mary, a Pokegear, again, first edition. Professor Elm, first edition. I just like this card. Card flip game. I don't know if this card would be printed nowadays because I guess it kind of depicts gambling. So I thought that was kind of cool. First edition. Pokemon March, first edition. Super Rod, first edition. Sleep, first edition. Nightly Garbage Run, first edition. And a Digger, first edition. So 4 for $1 on those. Not too bad for a bunch of first edition trainers and some Shadowless original base set cards. But yeah, that's what I got there. At one point, I was walking around and I came across a toy booth and I saw something that kind of caught my eye. I ended up going back to booth with John to work there, but then a couple minutes passed, like, you know what, I'm gonna go get it. So I went back to this booth. I went through it a few times and I actually found this, which is a 1998 Godzilla movie. The worst Godzilla, but one of my favorite, like, guilty pleasures, sci-fi action from the late 90s. I actually have like a sealed VHS and a sealed DVD of this movie. Horrible Godzilla movie, but still a fun movie for what it is, and definitely a guilty pleasure of mine. This was only $5, and they go for like 15 to 20. I figured it'd be kind of fun to grab it, maybe throw my VHS inside of it as a display or something, but pretty cool. I remember seeing these. I think this is from Taco Bell, if I remember correctly, because they had all kinds of promotions with various companies when this came out. It had a really good promotion campaign, honestly. So grabbed this. I thought it was just a fun thing, and for $5, I couldn't leave it. And then after banging for a while, I decided to walk around again. I went back to the first Pokemon card booth. I saw you put out these old manuals from the Dragon set. I decided to grab them. They were like a couple bucks. But he had also just put out a bunch of packs of Star Wars Episode 1 Wide Visions, as I almost dropped them all. They were like $2 each. I decided to grab them. I'm probably not going to open most of them. I think they're kind of just fun having the packs themselves, but I'll go ahead and open one for this video, so we'll do that. And then my Star Wars Wide Vision cards. I'll go ahead and open one pack, like I said, just for the fun of it. But I'm probably going to keep these just because I like the pack arts on them. Got like a full set right there. So I'm probably going to end up keeping those just for myself. I think it'd be cool to put them like in a shadow box or something framed up. Maybe remove the price sticker on them. But yeah, but let's go ahead and open it just so we have an example of what's in here. I wouldn't surprise me if they're all stuck together because cards like this often do get real stuck together. It looks like it's 8 cards per pack. You're looking for expansion subset cards and chrome inserts. And they do feel kind of stuck together. Yeah, you can hear that crack. We got a message from Mos Espa. What's Qui-Gon there? Over Naboo, Swampland. Yeah, definitely sticking together, which is why I'll probably keep them sealed. What Lurks Behind? The Guardians of Peace, there from the beginning of the movie. Bargaining with Watto. Galactic Senate. Come on. Got the Intergalactic Spectators. Trade Federation tanks close in. And the last card, got a, I guess, green insert, it looks like. Jedi vs. Sith with PAL, like with a PAL like Jar Jar. So yeah, that's all that is. A couple wide vision cards. How many cards was this? 1, 2, 3. There was actually 9 cards in this pack, so one more card than we actually should have gotten. So kind of a fun little bonus, I guess. But there is our sort of insert card for the pack. And yeah, again, hopefully you all enjoyed that. Let's close out this video. And yeah, that's all I did this year at Tucson Comic Con. I ended up leaving shortly after that, and John finished up the show on his own. But it was a good time. Pretty successful considering I only had one box of stuff there, really. I think I did pretty good as far as sales go. And I got some fun stuff that I didn't really expect to get. I didn't spend very much money. All in all, it was like less than $60 looking back and adding it up. So not too bad overall. Pretty happy. And yeah, that's all for this video. So hopefully you enjoyed that. If you went to the Tucson Toy Show and you picked up anything, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear about that. But yeah, take care, everyone.